Hey kids, this is Kalir.
And it's
Just
Safari.
like that, the Bastion comes alive.
The Bastion is alive.
Starts
It's
growing,
coming alive.
growing stronger.
Clearly we are
It's gotta
playing,
put its power to
you know,
good
Bastion and not some other game.
Now the Bastion
Like-
can send him even farther.
Welcome to Sword of Mana.
Wild and
No, we're not playing Sword of Mana again.
Damn straight.
That's a bad idea.
Kid ponders what to build.
Anyway, we're back here. When you load your save, it goes back to when you first approached the Bastion, not what happened in the Bastion after, so we're gonna build an arsenal
We
instead,
can hold our own if we have
To allow for, you know, the user interaction part of the show.
which is to say you guys dicking me over and trying to deny me a melee weapon. This will fail, I will succeed anyway. Also, we got the mirror shield as a result of that. Mirror shield is, you turn it on and you auto counter for while it's active.
Kid aims to keep us safe.
I have been told that it can actually be used with the combination of certain spirits to turn into a very interesting health regen method.
It can, but we don't have that right now, so I'm gonna go with the bolt burst instead. Anyway,
The breaker barracks.
first step,
Many
we're going to the
swift
proving
shooters
grounds for the Breaker's Bow.
This is probably one of the easiest, if not the easiest, proving ground in the game,
Breakers used to come here for target.
because all you have to do is shoot down those strangely floating gourds in as few shots as possible.
Yes. We're not quite sure how the gourds are levitating. Write it off as, you know,
He's focused. He's armed.
Everything else,
He's off.
everything else in the
floats.
game kind of floats in a weird way, so I guess it's not that strange that the plant life floats as well.
Shot just happens in a
anyway,
flash.
proving grounds are basically, you do what the game tells you with the weapon you've got. The better you do, the more prizes you get. And you can retry as many times as you want. In this case, we are just trying to use as few shots as we can to take out as many of these Zolwood gourds as we can.
And the cool thing about the proving grounds is that any upgrades that you apply to your weapon via the forge also applies to the shadow
Puts on the right
weapon that you get from the proving ground.
Right.
And certain upgrades make certain proving grounds exceptionally easier than they would be without them.
Actually, speaking of those
Like, for
shadow
example,
weapons,
we'll see that with the...
if you
Oh,
get a
go ahead.
shadow weapon without getting the weapon itself, like if you just like, I don't feel like getting it and you just leave it there.
I say, is that even possible?
Yeah, totally. Like this next level, you can skip the weapon you're getting in. Just not ever
Kid
go in
ain't
the
had
area to
enough
get it.
of Breaker's barracks.
Ah, see, that would never even occur to me.
But then you can go to the proving ground for that weapon and get it anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's an excellent way to keep you from screwing yourself over?
Speaking of screwing ourselves over, that never happened. You can
Oof.
restart most proving grounds at any time. And on this one, we're just gonna keep going until we get enough power shots to take out all of these things in 5 shots.
Because as you can see, that this proving ground is simply take out, you know, the gourds in as few shots as possible. And this is also why this is one of the easier ones, because all you have to do is apply a bit of spatial reasoning and time your power shots correctly, and you've got it solved.
Note that even if you do a power shot, if you do it too fast, you'll only do 30 damage, which is not enough to drop the gourd. So, just be patient and you'll get the thing.
None of that show.
And that's also something that I was not aware of before this little endeavor.
Anyway, your reward for getting first place is always a new secret skill. In our case, Breaker Volley, which is what happens if you take a bow and turn it into a machine gun.
The second and third place rewards are... The third place reward is an upgrade material for the weapon of your choosing, or the weapon of the proving ground, and the second place reward is just...
I almost don't believe it. When
It could be an upgrade material for just about anything. They seem to be relatively randomly assigned, even things that you don't have yet.
Yeah, like the upgrade material we got for getting second place there, we're not going to get that weapon for ages. But we're getting ahead
Well,
of ourselves.
I thought it was for a certain thing that you got relatively quickly,
No, not for this one.
or maybe
got
I was
something
misinterpreting what I
fancy.
was seeing. Oh, okay.
The workman ward. Them windbags used to keep
Anyway,
the city
we're going
on
to
the
this
run.
level now.
This level is one of the most non-linear out of all of them, and it kind of sets a strange precedent, if you ask me, because most of the other levels in the game are, you know, fairly straightforward, follow a given path, whereas this one, you have the option of going 4 different directions at once.
Bad and wrong.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but what are you going to do?
Ought to be
Eh,
cool
it's not necessarily a bad thing.
streets.
Nah.
But which one?
Anyway, we're gonna go down the one that's got absolutely nothing of relevance down at first. That one over there.
He heads for the biggest dump in town. Scumbag alley.
I guess that makes sense. That, you know, the dumps would be full of scumbags, given their proclivities for eating all kinds of random things.
They all just fell off the ledge there.
And there he is.
That's actually something fun that you can exploit in some of the challenge stages later, where if you don't, and as well you can exploit it in one of the proving grounds, where if you don't feel like dealing with a scumbag, you can have it charge at you off a ledge, and if you're lucky, it'll just straight up fall off. And unlike the kid, they don't come back.
Right. In fact, while most enemies in the game will float, the scumbags do not. They're unique, at least for this stage in that regard.
As you can see there, the squirt, I guess, vending machine will continually spit out squirts until it's taken care of, which, again, is something that can be exploited in some of the special challenge stages later on to get back, you know, more health than you technically should. But that's way high level stuff that we're not gonna hit.
Yeah, we're not gonna get to that for quite a while. So instead, let's go find another path.
No core.
Something not so covered in scumbags.
Like the gas fellas are hiding it from him.
And in this stage, I think that Clear does a pretty excellent job of showing off how effective things like the repeater and the bow can be combined together.
Yeah, because normally you think, hey, I've got a hammer and I've got 2 ranged weapons. I should take the hammer and one of them.
He heads for the east side.
But you don't have to.
Windbags used to keep the weapon forged.
Generally, if you're using a more unorthodox combination, though, you'll want to get some upgrades to make it work. And I can definitely say that here.
Odd
Yeah,
place.
I'm not a big fan of the ranged weapons in the game. They just don't particularly fit my playstyle.
Eh, I don't know.
But then again, I've also talked to a couple people that, you know, swear by double range weapons. So
Yeah,
Like-
like,
Keeps telling himself he better watch his step.
I think those people are weirdos. But you know,
Well, really, you can get away with using whatever weapons you want, even if it's not a combination that would really be to your liking. And if you're good enough, you can do some of the hardest stuff in the game with your 2 favorite weapons.
I feel like that's pretty much your specialty when it comes to games. Doing things in the most obstinate way possible, as long as it's the way you like it. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm just trying to have the most fun I can. I don't care how hard the game wants me to not have fun. Except this is Bastion, it wants me to have fun. Speaking
It
of,
does.
here is the Forge. The Forge is where you upgrade things, using something for the weapon of choice and some of your fragments. Also worth noting, each upgrade has 2 options for each tier, and you can switch between those at any time once you go back to the Forge.
Completely free of cost once you purchase that tier.
Yep. Now our bow draws and fires a little faster, which is pretty good.
Yeah, because the Breaker's bow, at least for the power shot, fires kind of slow on the offset.
The squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time.
I do like the idea that, you know, Solandian kids go to the squirt steps as field trips during the better times.
Yeah, because hey, squirts are fun to play with.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
cute and cuddly.
Yeah.
And we're going to carve all of them up.
No.
Except for this.
Okay, so this is our new melee weapon, the War Machete. The War Machete is fast, and you can throw it.
It's also probably my least favorite weapon in the game.
Yeah, because it doesn't do a lot of damage per swing, and you have to keep swinging to get real use out of it.
Yeah, it's incredibly short range. It is fast, but each of the fast strikes doesn't do a significant amount of damage. And so what I feel like it leads to is your damage per second with the machete isn't it's not matched by the damage per second you can find with the other melee weapons.
That
Even
said,
after
a lot of
being
people still like it.
Yeah, that's very true. And I have seen very compelling arguments for, you know, certain upgrade paths that can turn this thing into something rather powerful.
Anyway, we got ourselves a buddy.
Yeah, you know, friendly squirt, happy. And that's actually one of the more esoteric secret skills in the game, where it summons, you know, a friendly squirt to fight on your side. Unfortunately, squirts aren't terribly powerful.
Summon a Goomba!
Exactly. Exactly.
That said, it can actually be really impressive if you got the right setup for it, which, yeah, I don't know. I prefer other secret skills, ones that are tied to my weapons, because those will usually carry over the upgrades from your weapons.
Yes. And I wouldn't say it's my personal favorite secret skill, but there's actually one secret skill that I found has a rather specific use and the hardest thing in the entire game.
There it is. But it's locked down.
But I don't think we're going to get to that secret skill for quite a while, are we?
Oh,
I don't know. I actually can't remember when you get it, to be honest. I think you have to buy it. Could be wrong.
Save me, Squirt! Go fight the foreman!
Go, go, go! But yeah, I actually really do find this fight interesting. Like, this whole stage almost seems like it was built before any other part of the game, because all those gas fellas hanging around the sides, they won't attack you until you get too close. So it basically kind of turns it into, like, you know, almost like a gang initiation. And then after you beat the big guy, they all, as you can see, they all, you know,
like, hey,
show their appreciation, and then they just vanish.
Yeah, it's an interesting twist on things.
It is, and again, that's why it makes me feel like this stage was pulled from a bit of a different cloth.
I guess you could say that. In any case, we're done in that stage for now. You can just go get the core and come right back without getting the forge or the machete or even the squirt lure, but that's not fun.
Exactly. If you're not going to explore each of the levels to their fullest and get the full effect of what you're doing, I kind of have to question what you're doing.
Anyway, we got a thing. Tell us about the thing.
Windbags used to be all right. Then the calamity took the floor out from under him.
Now we have a buddy back here. We can go talk to the buddy later, but first, let's get another building set up.
Only fair he decides what we do.
And one of the things I find most interesting about the lore of this game is that, you know, while they are considered enemies, the gas fellas, they worked with Celandia before things went real bad.
Like, now they're just like, well, everything's gone to hell. We're just gonna try to survive as best we can.
Exactly.
Anyway, we got drinks. I'll discuss the drinks in the post and the thread.
Mouthful of nails, but the benefits are worth it.
You know, and of course, Rux always has something to say about each new spirit that you equip, because that's kind of his thing, and you know, it really does just add to the incredible flavor of the game.
Yep, it's nice. Anyway,
it is nice.
We have two stages we can go to here. The first is the Sundown Path.
Lovely place for a stroll before the calamity.
That damn calamity.
The calamity ruined everything, especially my fine china.
Beyond the boundless sea.
But yeah, so are you going to leave it up to the posters to decide what stage we go to next?
Yeah, I think we'll do that. Anyway, I'm Kalir, this is Tafari, and this has been Let's Play Bastion.
Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.